Well, welcome back to another episode of The Shop. I'm Riddick, this is Spenny, and on the end is Ak.
Ja.
So, you may still be confined to your homes, but we're bringing our news to you and whatever electronic device you use to watch it.
Let me interject here for a second, Riddick.
Yeah.
You may also notice we're missing Sandy this week. Bad news, unfortunately. Hawkeye Freefall finished. And he just couldn't take it. He needed a break from life, so he's currently trying to find a reason to why. Because Freefall was apparently that bad for him.
I mean, I think Freefall was that bad for everybody.
The art was good. I liked the art in it.
Was it?
I did.
The way, I didn't mind the art style. How the artist was used throughout the story, though, was trash. If you write a trash story, the art can't save you. It's an unfortunate reality, I think, for comics.
So are you saying Hawkeye's Freefall ended and then Sandy's began?
Hawkeye's Freefall ended, Sandy's tailspin started. So yeah, he is soul searching. So if you believe in a higher power, give him a prayer. He's gonna need it because Marvel will drop you off in the most desolate of violence.
But today we're here to shit on Marvel for a different comic.
Yes, we are, but we're not going to jump on that right away, are we? On today's episode, we got two things, mainly speaking: the Old Guard and a bone we got to pick with Marvel, as usual. But this will be the last picking of the bone with Marvel, yes, on the show.
I've heard that before.
Have we ever actually put a foot down and said we're done?
I'm pretty sure you have.
Pretty sure it's not a confirmation.
You're like a guy stuck in a romantic relationship that you're cutting it off. And
why does he stay?
Yeah.
I know. I wanted to go if they won't accept me though. I can't be abused because my outside appearance is so fucking tough. It's tough. So, but okay, let's get right into it though. Old Guard just came out. What was it? 10th of July. It says. Which was literally this past Friday. Depending on when you're watching this, because past Friday was yesterday.
Actually, not even past Friday.
A week ago
Friday. Right? So either or, 10th of fucking goddamn July is what the release date was. Netflix backed. Greg Rucka written. What was the artist name? Leonardo Fernandez, yeah. Really good artist, by the way. I like his stuff.
It reminded me a bit of Eduardo Rizzo's 100 Bullets.
Yeah, I was super heavy with the shadows and stuff like that. Yeah, for sure. Sorry, so just so we're clear, Netflix, and with Charlize Theron, I think Charlize Theron had a big part to this movie being popped onto Netflix. They backed a Greg Rucka book called The Old Guard, which was a really good book. I think we actually did a review on it in one of the God issues. I'm not too sure, or I wanted to. I don't know. I like.
And they actually, when they approached him for use of it, he asked if he could do the screenplay, and they said yes.
Yes, which I think you can blatantly smell it throughout the whole series.
So it's not a bastardization of this comic.
It is probably the closest comic rendition I've watched in a while. Like, it is a lot closer than any of the Batman fucking movies to the characters from the comics. So, whatever. Dumb man is but either or, the comic, I can't remember when it was released. I'm guessing 2017.
Older than that, isn't it?
No, it's not that old.
I think it ended in 20, depending if it was monthly or not, but I think that's around where it was.
I got it.
Yeah, okay, cool. So while Spenny's looking that up, we're going to go over quickly. So the actors, obviously, Charlize Theron plays Andy or Andromeda of Scythia, which is like, I looked into it. It's either the wife of Hector, which I don't think it was because her backdrop is a little bit 6,000 years is I think a little bit before Troy.
They don't give her. I don't remember them her aging herself in the movie, but in the comics.
In the comics, they definitely age her
more than once.
Yes, but there is another Andromache, and if I'm not mistaken, that's like the first Amazonian. And like in the comic, they kind of hint to it. Remember when they're in that war in the Second and Fourth Multiplied, and they're murdering all the men, and then at the end it's just kind of a bit of the women left over. So he kind of hints at it. So then there's a up and coming actress named Kiki Lane. She plays Niall Freeman. That's the newest of the Immortals. We won't go too much into her origins, I guess.
I mean,
is this a spoiler-free review or what?
I fucking, every time we say spoiler-free, we spoil, and every time we say there's gonna be spoilers, we don't. So I just think let's just fucking call it what it is.
I don't think we've ever not spoiled something.
I spoiled my pants earlier today, so.
But Old Guard #1, February 22nd, 2017.
Ooh.
I thought it came out before I went to school.
But there was a big gap between the end, like there's
first
two
one. Yeah.
5-issue series, and there's almost like a 2.5 year gap. Really.
Yeah. Well, then now for sure there's going to be a third, and I don't think it's going to take as long. I don't know, with the independent guys, it's hard. You know, they got to come out with their own stuff, and it takes a lot of their own time. And then it's not even guaranteed to get your money back. You know, so I don't blame Greg Rucka for taking his time, or Mr. fucking Fernandez.
Well, I wonder if he I feel like they just planned it to come out with the movie. I think he had it a lot.
What, Force Multiplied?
Yeah.
I don't know why you would do that, but
I think it was already in the works.
right, yeah. But considering Force Multiplied ended this week and then nothing was out last week, like I don't know how that works.
I think it was already in the work, but
I thought the last book of Force Multiplied came out this week.
just this month, anyways.
Last Wednesday, which is the week after the movie came out.
Okay, cool.
So there was probably he's admitted that it's a three-part arc
For the comics.
Yeah,
probably
but probably didn't even start the second one until let's see how the response is to the first.
Excuse me.
Oh, for sure.
I felt strongly because I read the Old Guard month by month when it first came out. I felt it very strongly that he didn't think that series was going to go into a second part.
Oh, no,
he might have planned the whole thing because, in one of the letters, he was talking about how he was thinking about this girl for so long and the character. But again, your reality of comic sales is always going to be different.
I think it was probably one of those hope for the best, plan for the worst, because the Old Guard, the first series operates completely as a self-contained story.
Yes, it does not touch into anything of the second one other than the fact that it's the same Immortals.
But there was probably a little bit of a bet that it did. There was at least a year, if not gap between the Old Guard and probably the screenplay that he amended some of those things.
He fleshed out a lot of
he
stuff.
fleshed out a lot. He took some stuff from the second arc and put it into the movie, and so there's a lot of that. When you finish something and you revisit it, you can improve upon things, and I do think the additions were improvements.
For sure. So, especially with the character stuff, I felt like the characters jived a lot better. It's not even like they didn't in the comics. It's just you got to fast forward through a lot of stuff with comics. I was talking to Spenny earlier about it today. I feel like comics is sometimes you don't have that luxury of fleshing out characters. You got to flesh out the character sort of in the dialogue scenes and in the action scenes of your comic. You don't have much downtime to flesh them out. But in the movie, they definitely had a lot of downtime, like that whole jumping on the Russian plane thing. The whole conversation her and Niall have there. And then just when they're all in the medical facility at the end of the movie, right before the conclusion, right? That's another part where they flesh out some story arcs and stuff like that. So, but were we going to go through the actors and the characters, or
I don't think we need to.
That's not what I asked.
Let's maybe so the significant difference between the comics and the movie.
Yeah.
Significant differences. We want to do that first. Yeah, for sure. Significant difference number one. A lot of the moral connections in the Old Guard movie don't exist in the comic book. In the first comic book, there are a group of immortals, and it's just you can think that they're going after bad people.
No, they come across me as just mercenaries for hire.
Yeah,
they're
selective mercenaries. Very selective.
Their trade is combat.
It's
and they sell them and they would do that stuff. Whereas in the movie, spritz throughout it all is their altruistic motives and why they do it. And
kind of because the whole thing is in the movie they start the immortals so Andy's already on the concept that they're killing bad people, but she's I just don't see if there's any difference happening because the world keeps getting crazy, right? It doesn't change.
Which arguably, I don't know if the world's crazier now than it was 2,000 years ago.
I would say the world's a lot crazier now than it was 2,000 years ago. At least from what I've read about when it was 2,000 years ago. The intricacies of how you can fuck somebody in the mouth.
Well, it's also just the world is a lot more connected now, so you see
that's probably right.
all of the fuckery happening everywhere.
Well, no. There's a couple of things that just outside of the internet are a lot different than 2,000 years ago. Mass production is one of them. The way we do it, industrial production is a lot crazier than it was 2,000 years ago. Capitalism didn't really exist 2,000 years ago either.
Sure, but no, what I'm saying is the world was a lot smaller for people 2,000 years ago, so the weight of it all wasn't as big.
I don't know. It depends
But even
what do you think is small? Like, what do you mean?
but even in the movie, like Copley at the end, he shows them all these things. It's almost like he's like educating them on like, see what an effect you're having.
Yeah,
Like,
because in the movies they go through and they're like, hey, this person that you saved in this war turned out to do this for humanity, and that was just stuff he said he found from modern times.
Yep, but so they kind of felt like we're just in a perpetual fight. Move on to the next fight. Move on to the next fight. Move on.
Yeah, they got lost in the years. It's a very easy thing to imagine. It's crazy that she won 6,000 years of straight combat and still maintained a full steam ahead thing.
But the big difference, the main difference, is in the movie. Okay, spoiler. Andy, she's wounded, and it appears that she no longer has mortality, which is not even a thing in the comics.
No.
In the comics, there's everybody has a time when they're going to check out.
Yeah.
But there's no one from the team that is
showing
facing mortality.
And I think they just did that to add more attention to the movie.
Well, to really show the struggle she's having and what they're doing.
Well, and I think it also brought in that thing like, as the new one's coming in, is an old one going out, right? Like kind of is why now? Why is Niall coming in now?
Well, it's
is it
changing
because
of the guard?
Is it because Andy's stepping out and Niall's coming in, right? Like that's the. I think that's
maybe that's one way of looking at it.
They do kind of hit on that a little bit in the film, where it's like it started right after she popped up.
No.
But
I think they hit on it more in the film than they do in the comic.
did I say the comic? I thought I said the film.
Are you fucking stupid? Listen to the conversation. I didn't say anything against your point. I'm just fucking adding to it.
Summary. Old Guard. You already said that it was really true to the comic.
Yeah, of course. I would say it's very true to the comic, but it's the same thing I said about with the MCU movies. I thought the real reason why they were so successful is a lot of, even though what they do in the movies don't necessarily reflect what happened in the comics, a lot of the characters shine through as who they are from the comics, like minus your Black Widows and your Hawkeyes, but Captain America is pretty much the same dude Chris Evans plays as he is in the comics. You know what I'm saying? Old Guard is just I think it's very true to the comic in a lot of regards. Even how they match certain elements from the second part of the comic series, so Force Multiplied. A lot of the morality from Force Multiplied is injected into the movie plot. Again, that whole Copley thing, like you were mentioning, that doesn't happen in the comic books in the first series. That only happens in the second series, and I think only Joe and what's his name get to see him. Nicky, is he? Yeah, Nicky. Yes. The two Crusaders, the Fufu Crusaders. Can you say Fufu anymore? I don't think so. The homosexual Crusaders.
So you
Not
can.
That it matters, I guess.
You can say so if it was true to form on a bad comic, then that would be a bad movie. But we're in agreement that the Old Guard is a good story. It's a good.
I enjoyed it. I thought the cast was wicked.
So you make because sometimes they make a movie out of a bad comic or a bad premise, right?
Oh man!
So we're saying they already started with a good story, good characters, good everything. So they built on it.
Yeah, like Netflix picked up what's it called? Vampire Wars.
Oh God!
And that was a comic. And it's a shitty TV show that I keep watching because I don't know. I like interracial scenes that they don't actually have that many of. I could go on the internet and look up porn, but for whatever reason, I like people dressed. So, gotta get frisky, get that imagination going. But for sure, you make a good point. But I don't know. That seems to be what they're doing with a lot of comic books. Anyways, there was that whole spree of people picking up just titles and titles.
Well, that's the thing, though, right? Like anytime I think you switch mediums, you do lose some of the quality because, just inherently, the reason the thing worked so well is most likely because it was in the medium that it was in. So if you start from a subpar thing and you take it to another medium, you're already starting with A and you're going to A.
And I think that's where the benefit of having Greg Ruckus do the screenplay was that he built upon what he'd already created. It wasn't like someone that completely foreign to it. It was someone who had a passion for it enough that he built on it.
Yeah, not like George Martin, where he'll accept enough HBO dollars where he doesn't care how you fucking butcher a series. This guy actually gave a fuck enough to not at least butcher the first movie. So.
Well, but that's different though, right? Because George R.R. Martin didn't write the screenplays for Game of Thrones. Greg Rucka did for the movie, didn't he?
He directly wrote it, but come on, man. Like, if you're gonna sit there and tell me that George Martin had got to oversee everything for the TV
I
show,
don't think he did.
you know, it's funny. It sounded like he did. He's like, I enjoy what they're doing, and if you give it the fucking stamp of approval, and if I comes across my eyeballs, you might as well have fucking gave him the okay. You might as well have written the fucking story.
We just stepped into a time machine of 2 years ago to Game of Thrones. But right now,
I don't know. I just brought it up for one fucking reference.
so right now, old guard, thumbs up, thumbs down.
Definitely thumbs up. I don't like your system actually. Why thumbs up, thumbs down? That's not very.
What would you rather? What would you rather?
That's not
say?
very immortal.
What the? I don't know what that.
Plus, I don't like reviewing first. I like to review last. I'm the oldest here.
No, you're
No,
not.
you're not.
I'm the wisest here.
I'm the immortal. No, you're not. Arguable again.
Come on, man.
Okay, but I would say like
Let's start with Spenny. Let's start with the millennial here.
there was a few parts where there was kind of like, not that it dragged, but it did slow down. Because it was like when it was fast. It slowed down, but it was like story involved. It was flashback. It was neat and stuff. Again, it's not that it's an origin, but when you introduce characters, you gotta introduce the characters.
They didn't really do everyone's origins though. Like they never really did. I think they kind of brushed up through Nikki and Joe's origins because we were discussing. I couldn't remember exactly how it happened in the comic, but did they not kill each other over multiple crusades?
No, the same crusade, and they were fighting, but they would die and then get back up and fight again, and then die and get back.
I thought it was over multiple crusades.
No, I understood that it was the same battle that they just kept getting up, killing each other, dropping, getting up and killing each other, and dropping.
Either or, so they didn't really go through that, and that was kind of a cool aspect. And with all the morality, social nonsense that you're doing and changes and stuff like that, you could have easily put that part in there. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's, hey man, that's a white dude and a brown dude from a Christian background or a Catholic background and a Muslim background fighting a crusade that learned how to get along together. Like, and then became the best of friends, and some shit that would make your pussy wet if that's that what floats your boat. You know what I'm saying? Like, they're very romantic if you think about it. Right? Spenny's favorite fucking line was when that dude was in the van. He's like, he is not my lover. What did he say? Actually, it wasn't even the French dude who said it.
So in some of these battles that they were involved in, would you consider that any of them were giant-sized battles?
No.
Are we just skipping the review part?
Here's the thing. Well, yeah, that's, I guess, yeah. Ooh, that was a good start. Fucking Spenny, you gotta kick it back to the past. Like, here's some, our reviews are fast and loose,
man. I wanted to start with Marvel.
Yeah, that's weird. Didn't mean you had to ruin the segue. See again.
It's like when you eat your broccoli first.
Yeah,
to get out of the way.
Yeah, I would like to point something out here too. This right here, what he's doing, is a classic example of what's wrong with the world. You're assuming that what you want and things that don't go your way are a direct reflection of, like, you not being treated properly. That's not at all what the case was. But Spenny, you want to get your old guard review out of the way? Get it done. I'm sorry we didn't do giant size X-Men first. 10. That's a horrible format. So lame. Riddick, what do you give it? 7.5 out of 10?
Maybe an 8. I never turned it off.
Yeah.
But you know what? I appreciate having both mediums. Like there was things that were in the movie that weren't in the comics. There was things that were in the comics that weren't in the movie.
Yeah.
So if you go through both of them together, you get more of a complete thing.
I still think that a lot of what wasn't in the comic at first is still in the comic. Like, there wasn't anything that didn't come in from the comic except for literally that plane scene. I can't think of all the. And then Nile at the end, when she left the, this is from the movie, she leaves the Immortals and then kind of comes back after a moral fight.
Like she's kind of the first one to discover that one of them's a traitor.
Yes. Which is, again, wasn't she the first one in the books too? Like, she was like, you're doing some weird shit, but again, different circumstances.
But
so what do you're an 8? A weak 8 or a strong 8? Is that like bold and underlined?
Weak 8. There's room for improvement.
Weak 8, room for improvement. Yeah. I'll give it like I don't know. I'll give it like a Clan McLeod, fucking Duncan McLeod, maybe Highlander style Immortal. Yeah, it's definitely about Immortals and it's fucking entertaining. So that's what we're gonna give it a Clan McLeod, Duncan McLeod from the Clan McLeod.
So there can be more than one.
There could be more than one, right?
You're not talking like Highlander 3 though. You're not talking about Space Highlander.
Right? I'm not talking about that McLeod. I'm talking about the TV show McLeod, where it was good enough to continue watching for a very long time. But was it fucking exceptional? No. But you will always remember that he is immortal. So It's kind of one of those things. But again, I think with the movie, I was more taken away with the actors. I thought the ensemble was awesome. Minus fucking the main bad guy there.
You know what? In all, yeah, the villain wasn't.
Yeah, and when I saw him in the trailer, I was like, okay, cool. But like in the comic book, he's like a playboy billionaire. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, think Iron Man if he was real.
But I had to really struggle. Iron
Man's a prick is what I'm trying to say.
I think we all know who Charlize Theron is, right?
Yes.
But like, I was kind of like, what 5 movies have I know she won an Oscar for like Monster or whatever, right?
Yes.
And I'm thinking like what movies has she been in? And I was like drawing
Flux.
Aeon Flux, but she's been in like 30 movies.
Italian Job.
Fury Road.
Fury Road. She was Furiosa.
Something and something.
What? Monsters Ball.
I had to look them up, and then once I saw them,
For
I'm
sure,
like, oh, yeah.
Charlize Theron has made a career just doing Charlize Theron things.
Yeah, that's like she's a known commodity.
She's a known unknown.
I would say she's very known.
So yeah.
But anyways,
we're gonna post.
How are you gonna?
Well, how are we gonna? I'm gonna just time this or whatever just happened. You're not gonna know, but we're gonna be here. We're gonna old guard.
You're gonna have to have some kind of white cross like that coming in.
No, it might have been what might have just concluded, which is going to confuse you too, but maybe the viewers will understand better considering they'll see what happened. Is there will be a catch up with a certain somebody, which obviously you guys know. I don't know why that would be secret, but it's possible. Sandy recorded some of his journey through the unknown, trying to find out the answer to why. I
gotta do some major soul searching. After reading that shitty mini-series, Hawkeye Freefall, I need something to help me forget. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't know if you guys can see this. Just what the doctor ordered to help me soul search. Yeah, baby, yeah, baby, yeah, baby.
It's possible, and it's possible they could have just caught up to that right now, or none of this makes it to the video at all. We just start at this point in time. Fuck Marvel. Fuck Marvel 100 times over. Giant size. We need to redefine things in comics. I think.
I mean, Marvel seems to do it whenever they want.
Well, oddly enough, they are sticking to the format of what a giant-sized comic is, but I don't think it's fair considering.
I think it's what's your standard of what is giant size?
Mm-hmm.
Is that the thing, right? Mm-hmm. Giant size seems like when you say giant, there's nothing bigger than a giant.
No, exactly. Well, there shouldn't be anything bigger than a giant, but you have your 80-page spectaculars and your 100-page spectaculars and your fucking oversized giant
and
size.
Your double size issue.
Right, but anyways, this all stems from the release of the Giant Size X-Men Magneto comic this week, which was a whopping 32 pages, not counting ads.
32, but that does include like title page and
It's got that House of X text pages.
Yeah, that it was a good idea visually. Let's just keep abusing the fuck out of it. And, not even a year removed from when Marvel was saying they were going to slice down the titles of X-Men. What did they say? Last year, going into the August time frame, there was House of X and Powers of X.
Which would lead into one X-Men title. Which they only technically lied about, because I think there is only one.
Only technically lied about? Are you fucking kidding me? They didn't say they were even going to jump into the fucking one X-Men title. They said it was just going to be fucking 2. And by the time both of them hit 2, they announced, oh, here we go, there's going to be the X-Men title. And by the time they were all at like 3, they're like, oh, here we go, by the way, there's going to be like 5 other X-Men fucking titles. And then now we're all the way not even a year fucking removed from when these motherfuckers said that they were going to narrow down all the X-Men shit because the shit's too fucking diluted. How many X-Men titles do we have?
No, but what I mean is, like, there's a ton of mutant titles, but there's only one X-Men.
I'm going to punch you in the back of the fucking head. You better start learning what we're talking about here, man.
X titles.
I'm serious. This is insane. For you to sit there across from me is despicable, man. You fucking casual motherfucker. Back out of this segment. Right? What do we have? Fallen Angels, which is fucking
Excalibur.
Right?
X-Force.
We have Excalibur, X-Force, fucking New Mutants. We have what else? Wolverine. Then there's the X-Men actual fucking title. Then there's those 5 giant-sized X-Men, which are going to be running through what? They've already released Emma Frost, Nightcrawler, Magneto, and I can't remember who the other Dick Burger cheeseburgers are. He's read the Nightcrawler one, has no connection to the Magneto one. This one is just fucking stupid because he runs around with fucking Namor trying to get an island from motherfucking Emma Frost for no fucking reason other than Hellfire.
Having just read the 2, the common thread is Krakoa.
Yes,
Which is a stupid thing anyways.
Yeah.
But it seems
That's the new island.
What it reminded me of, they're like one shots. Okay, they call them giant size. But what they remind me of, like in the 80s, there was classic X-Men because X titles were getting huge and they couldn't get the back issues, so they reprinted X-Men titles, but they reprinted them without advertisements.
Yeah.
So they would insert a little 8-page short story at the end. And it was a new story, but it was written by Chris Claremont, and it was part of the canon. It would be like, Wolverine and Colossus went to a bar. They said they went to a bar, but that little 8-page story reveals what they did when they went to the bar.
Yeah.
And so there's a little 8-page. So I got the impression this is like those little in-between stories.
The little lines.
They're just like, so in the case of the Magneto one, it was like, where did the island come from?
Yeah.
Right? And it's like this, they did a 32-page story for the sole purpose of saying this is where the island came from. And in the case of Nightcrawler, there was a 32-page story that shows the X-Mansion being overrun just so at the end just so at the end they could walk away with Lady Mastermind. That was like, so they can pick it up somewhere else in their X titles and have a little note. If you want to know how Lady Mastermind came, pick up Nightcrawler. Because Nightcrawler isn't even an essential character in this. I would argue.
I would argue, when the fuck has Nightcrawler been an essential character, period?
Well, he had his own miniseries, I guess.
But which one? He's had a few. Like the one Chris Claremont wrote recently, I think it was when he was dealing with being dead. It was meh.
Yeah, so it wasn't a Nightcrawler. So like the Magneto one was specifically Magneto runs up with Namor.
Right,
and this Nightcrawler one, it's almost like an old school Excalibur. Like it's Nightcrawler with like 4 or 5 other people. They return to the X-Mansion. They find
you're talking about like the Nightcrawler.
It's overrun with plants. The Krakoa stuff.
Yeah.
And then they walk away at the end saying, you know what, they can keep it, all these nanobots. Let them have the X-Mansion. We don't need it anyways. We got an island.
No, that's fucking. That's weird. So they literally just took over the X-Mansion. I thought you meant like on the fucking island. It's literally just which X-Mansion? They're all blown up anyways.
No, this one's got plants all over it.
Which one? From where?
Those things, the Krakoa things.
I know, but was it Xavier's, Jean Grey's, some other fucking?
I'm assuming.
Really different schools, man.
They just refer to it as the mansion. I'm assuming it's the Professor X.
Because the writer was probably so lazy. He's like, I don't know which one I'm going to bring out. Half of them are destroyed.
He's like, not like it has to resemble anything anyways, because it's got plants all over the place.
Exactly. Well, fucking, plants.
So giant size, not so giant size.
Not giant at all. Giantly miserable. Like, what the fuck? There's a couple of things I got issue with the actual what happened in the fucking comic. Namor. So, Magneto's looking for an island. All of a sudden, Magneto's in the habit of asking for things.
Yeah.
Because the Emma Frost gave him such a good meal. He felt he had to repay her.
That was probably the best part. The new mutant who cooks like crazy. I don't know if he's mutant, but Saucier. Saucier. Kaiser Saucier.
He could feed them dirt. And
he's the real mastermind behind this, by the way. Kaiser Saucier. They fucking schemed everything here. He schemed a heads-up meeting between Magneto and Namor to go absolutely nowhere, except for he helped out Namor.
And in case you thought, like, who is this? He must not. Is he a mutant or not? They gave him 4 arms, so it's like, there is something.
And he looks like a lobster.
So yeah, my first problem with this is probably the most passive Magneto I have ever seen.
Considering how aggressive he was in the House of X, Dawn of X, he's extraordinarily passive. He's been more passive before, but considering how they set him up, yes.
Also, if I'm not mistaken, this was written by Hickman, wasn't it?
Yes.
I hope it wasn't.
I'm pretty sure it was.
I think it is. I think all of them.
Oh, great. So then that means everything he did in this episode will be explained in another miniseries Hickman writes. Yeah. Fuck you, Hickman.
But
you fucking piece of shit. I read your fucking letter that you wrote up.
All right.
Like, we're going to try to narrow down the X-Men. Fuck you.
So I know people have said this before, but just because you call out the cliche doesn't mean it's not a cliche. When they're going through this comic, they run into a Kraken, and Namor's like, it's always a Kraken.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, so do something fucking different.
Hold on, Spenny, we gotta dial this back. This is when Magneto asked Namor for the island, Magneto asking Namor for the island, Namor, who was like, mutants are so below me.
Yes.
You can think about what that means if you know who Namor is. He's like, I'll help you if you help me. They go all the way to the bottom of the fucking water because, whenever you swim with Namor, you can just go down and you're automatically super duper low. It's not about like coastal lines or anything. I swear to God, they jumped off the line and went straight down. Either or. They get down there and they find this mysterious gold fucking door. They go through the gold door and then there's these 3 water fates.
Red pill, blue pill.
Yeah, they Morpheus these motherfuckers. Namor, of course, picks the wrong one because it's Namor. He's just fucking there. And they're like, Magneto, you can pick between the blue pill and the blue pill. And he's like, no, I picked that pillar that we didn't even draw in any of these panels behind you. And they're like, oh, you got us. Do you have any clue what you're doing here? And he's like, I don't care. And they're like, okay. And then they fade to misery. But like,
Namor got the fish face hugger.
right? Namor got a fish face hugger. They down in the bottom doing nothing. They cliche as fuck with the Kraken because the door turned into the Kraken. Spenny hella fucking right with that. And then for what? Just to come out and Namor's like, take the island. They give him a key after he solves the riddle. But Magneto keeps the key. So what did Namor do there?
I don't know what that key is.
What did Namor
I didn't know if that key had something to do with House of X or Power.
Presumably, the key is going to be some sort of MacGuffin that's going to fuck shit up later.
Because it's Hickman. He needs to make sure he can come out with another miniseries a little bit later so he can continue to write his fucking nonsensical fucking... I don't know, man. You had me and you lost me, you son of a bitch.
There's no key in the Nightcrawler one. Although there is a thing where like...
Because Nightcrawlers are
where Rachel's speaking gibberish and Doug Ramsey
Rachel Summers?
can't figure it out. He's like, I don't know, it's just a binary language. But then when it's like the exact same little bots, all of a sudden Doug Ramsey's like carrying on a conversation with them. Like it's the same stinking language, just out of a different mouth.
I don't fucking know. I don't know. Look, there's one thing I'm glad Hickman doesn't do, and it's like abuse the shit out of Wolverine. Wolverine didn't pop up in any of these things so far.
Not yet.
So I'm happy.
Do you know what the other 2 are though? I'd be curious what the other 2 giants are.
Probably Wolverine.
Giant size Dookie?
Giant size Wolverine, giant size Kitty Pryde with Wolverine. So, I think I quit with Marvel, man. I think I quit.
I hear that.
Oh, you've already stepped off the hard line you were taking.
I love these fucking characters. What can I say? A big chunk of my life I've been growing up with these fucking douche hookers, man.
So I'm talking with Ock the other day. He is fuming. He is so mad. The first thing he leads with, Spenny, after this fucking comic, we're done with Marvel. We're never
done.
talking about Marvel on the show again.
Period. It's happening.
He's already stepped back.
It's happening. What are you talking about? What the fuck did I step back? Until you see another fucking episode when we're doing Marvel, I didn't step back. I only stepped forward, dog. I'm prepared to step forward.
There's gonna be a Jean Grey.
Yeah, Jean Grey and Emma Frost.
Oh, that one's already out.
They tagged it. That's the one we thought was out there. It was Jean Grey and Emma Frost.
That's what I'm saying.
Fuck, I'm sorry, but if we gave a fuck a little bit more about this treacherous fucking... Like, look, you might be wondering, while these dudes is doing research, hey, what's with these comics? Because usually we have horrible fucking lighting and the plastic bounces off the lighting. This is New Mutants, #1. It's fucking huge, man. Alright? Right there is the motherfucking Magneto giant-sized nonsense. Then compared beside it is a real giant-sized comic, giant-sized X-Men #1. Alright? Then all the way on the outside we have Batman, the book of the Demon, I believe it is, Son of the Demon #1. I believe that's the start of motherfucking... Oh, Phantom X is getting his own special. That makes sense. Phantom X is dope. I can't wait for Hickman to turn him into an absolute fucking piece of garbage and do nothing and then work with Namor about putting a key up his ass. So... And then the bottom ones are just giant-sized, oversized comics from fucking original ones. It's Renata Jones and what's it called? Tokyo Ghost. Might be switched around. That might be Tokyo Ghost. That might be Renata Jones. I can't see it anymore. But those are all giant-sized comics. The only giant-sized comic that isn't a giant-sized comic here is this one. But the price tag is $4.99. And technically it hits giant size because it's 32 fucking pages. With a couple of pages of credit bullshit. So I don't know, does that count? I don't think so. If you didn't hit 32 at your giant size. So, what are the last 2 sets to come out for just so we're clear here?
Phantom X and Storm.
Storm?
Yes.
Storm?
Yes.
I don't know why they keep throwing Storm around like that. They can never do anything good with her. When Wolverine died, I can never forgive that.
You tearing up?
Yeah, I'm tearing up because what she did was just fucking horrible. She's like, oh, Wolverine died. Oh, the whole world is raining.
All right. I think we've accomplished what we have come to do.
Have we? I don't hear Marvel calling me to apologize. Marvel calling you guys?
On this date,
the 18th?
June the 18th, 2020, Ox said we would never talk about another Marvel comic.
On this show.
So-
No.
He did.
No. I said we ain't reviewing any more Marvel comics on the show.
That wasn't the loophole that I thought you left yourself.
I'll leave myself with anything I want to leave
He
myself.
left the loophole that if you guys get in the comics and like demand that we review a Marvel book.
Oh yeah, that's right. This fucking forced user interaction nonsense. Yes. If you're like, fuck you, we want you to read the comic, then fucking write it down there.
So pick the worst Marvel comic that comes out in the next 2
You
months.
think that's gonna phase me? You think that's gonna fucking phase me? Look into my fucking eye. Ain't nothing phase me anymore, man. Look
He's in
at
this
the
abusive
Wolverine.
relationship for the long haul.
I'm about to read Wolverine 2020. Do you know what that's gonna do to my fucking psyche? Nothing, because it's already beaten down. It's
It's gonna do a lot to mine, and I'm not even gonna.
You're gonna lose your immortality by reading it. You're gonna start like having an open wound that won't heal up.
And I'm sick of Marvel treating the mutants like they equal to these superpowered fucks. They're not. It's so stupid. Stop trying to power scale everything, you fucking losers.
Alright.
No, it's weird because like Riddick, I hate reading in the X-Men comics that motherfucking, these X-Men is so strong. But then they cross over with the Avengers and all of a sudden they all depower. It's like, what the fuck is going on here? Like, you guys make up your fucking mind. You Phoenix forced the shit out of some of the strongest X-Men, and he did it so they can go back to being weak. And then you gave them all their powers back. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you ass fucks? Shit. Fuck.
Same as
I think we're winding down though.
yeah, it's the same as what was the one? What was this guy? No More Mutants, right? They were even trying to minimize the
fucking
mutants.
God, right? Yeah, I know. But Franklin Richards is back to normal powers, man.
They're handcuffing. They're handcuffing them.
Oh my God, man. Fuck you, Marvel motherfucking. Who's behind this? Is this CJ? Is this CJ or is this Feige? Because Feige, you tripping already, homie.
I mean,
this is you fucking tripping, homie.
No.
Mutant lives matter.
I'm pretty sure he took over after all the X shit started.
Fuck you, Feige. Because I'm Feige fucker. Oh, is that fair? Is that fair to say to him? Would you say that to him if it was in your face? Probably, yeah. He makes enough money to say that. Is that fair just because the person makes money to sit there and cuss them up? I don't know. You stealing my money, motherfucker, by lying to me and selling me my motherfucking dreams, man. My dreams and my nostalgia, man. My fucking hopes of the past. That's worse than motherfucking pimping.
It's lunchtime. I think it's meat time for Associate to bring us a little meal here. It's a little four-handed red.
Associate, Kaiser Associate. He's the guy behind this all. I can't wait for a year down the line. Giant size special. Kaiser Associate.
But
with recipes in the text. That text is recipe.
Right.
until next time, when Ock inevitably finds some other Marvel comic.
Oh, some other Marvel comic motherfucker. We did Image today. We had love with Image. We had a good thing with the old guard. Regardless of
We didn't even mention it was an Image
not.
comic, I don't think, until now.
I'm just saying we shouldn't have to mention it was a fucking Image comic. You'd be blamed that as a fucking Image comic. If you ain't know that the old guard is based off of the Image comic, welcome to the show. I'll hold you by the hand the same way I hold Spenny and walk you through the wonderful land of comics. But I will stop short on a hellish zone called Marvel. I'll just point and be like, that's where our heroes used to be. And then I'll walk you across. We'll go to Dark Horse or something.
Why would we go to Dark Horse?
Well, let's.
Well, whatever, we go to Dark Horse.
I think after we're gonna wrap, we're gonna go and hand in hand with Ock. He's gonna lead us over to the comic wall.
Yeah.
I can go hand in hand to a fucking loony bin.
Later.
Easy. Yeah.